All right. Week 2 main slate is almost in the books. We got one overtime game going on right now between the Raiders and the Cardinals. Adam,
Yep.
holy shit, what a main slate this was. What a main slate this was. We have no shortage of stuff to talk about. But how you doing? How your team's doing? You winning? You losing? Feeling good? Feeling bad?
Today it's been overall a pretty good day. Trey Lance injury is going to cost a few of my teams for damn sure.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty good day. I would say a pretty good day overall, and it's been exciting to watch football today, man. You love to see it. Other than the fact that the Browns, you gotta hate. Wow, there's been some crazy games this week, man.
Joe Flacco comes back to bite you in the ass again. Who knew?
It's so bad to lose to that team, man.
All right, buddy. You want to kick it off with Trey Lance? I mean, it's probably the biggest piece of news that we're going to have for the entire day just because, holy shit.
Well,
we got some teams that are going to be changing here.
RIP to one Trey Lance, Mike. And, when we make this, we weren't anticipating Trey Lance going out like this and this being the way you see his final thing. Man, early in the game, ankle injury. Looked pretty bad, man. Supposedly he's out for the year. He's at a point now where I really don't even know what to do, Mike, in Dynasty. Contenders is what you hope to have him on. Obviously, if you're on a rebuilder, you're not going to do anything with him. But like, what do we do right now with Trey Lance being out for the year? If you had him on a contender and you're relying on him,
on a contender, man, I'm gonna try to sell him straight up for anything down to Kirk Cousins.
If I could swap if you could swap Kirk Cousins, man, I would do that for sure.
I think people would probably hold your feet over the fire, though. Like, you're probably looking at Matt Ryan Tannehill range, and for me, like, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, I just hit the pump button on this year. Fuck this. I'm gonna buy the living piss out of him, though.
Yeah,
on my teams that I don't need him. And I don't care if it's wrong, but any late 23 first that I may have bookend, I'm sending it away for Trey Lance immediately. Gone. I'll just ride that out. I'll set out the year. I still believe in the talent. That ain't going to change. They liked him enough to name him starter. Almost didn't bring Jimmy G back until they fucked that all up. So, like, this is going to be his team once he's back from the injury. It's his team. So, holy shit. Lance for Tua. Jesus, I'd take fucking Tua right now on a contender. For sure. For sure, Koopa. Saw that pop up. If I could trade my Lance for Tua to the fucking moon, baby. I'm going to do victory laps on Tua Tagovailoa. We'll have to get into him. We got the thumbnail for it. But that's my quick thoughts on Trey Lance. For me, Adam, on a contender, I'm going to see if anybody's going to give me Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Mac, Tua, Aaron Rodgers maybe. Straight up, if I got to grease it a little bit, like with a third or a late second, I mean, I got to do what I got to do to keep winning. But if that's not going to happen, man, I'm not taking a fucking loss. I'm not going down to Jameis Winston or Carson Wentz or one of these fucking other guys and doing it straight up. Like, I like winning. I can't give up Trey Lance for that. Can't do it. You're on mute, my friend.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Cannot do that. Tua had an unbelievable game. And, Mike, I think it's a good time to go ahead and kick it off to the thumbnail and that team. Yes, I would do this. Give me Tua Tagovailoa easily right now on a contender for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Tua looked unbelievable, man. Now, I know they were down and they needed to throw a lot, but, man, with those two guys, it's like a lot like what we talked about, Mike. He's throwing to guys that are open. People think he can't throw it downfield. He can. He had plenty of big plays today.
Huge.
6 touchdowns. I mean, Mike, was he the highest scoring player of the week? I'd imagine he was.
Pretty close. Tyreek or Waddle are going to be up there too. Lamar also had a monster game. So
all guys in that game, right?
I mean, you're talking about all dudes who are pushing 50 points. Like, all of them. Huge fucking game. But yeah, Tua, good to see him shut up the haters. We got to even see some missed time tweet or Discord chat from our boy Chase earlier in the day. Tua ain't it, which he's regretting right now. That's all right. It's all right, Chase. We still love you, buddy.
Jay Ellis says, hope everyone got Tua already on their team because if not, you will have a hard time getting him. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think you could do that on a contender. Like I don't know if you could pivot from Trey Lance to Tua right now.
No, I highly doubt it. But the thing about Tua, man, that I wanted to touch on, which made so much sense, and it took me a while to come around to it because you know how much I was fading Jalen Waddle, right? How much I was down on him. But if everybody's high on Tyreek and everybody's high on Jalen Waddle, why the fuck aren't you high on the guy who's got to throw him the football, right? It's the easiest correlation in the entire thing of football. And you just watch both of his wide receivers. I think they're probably going to finish as wide receiver 1 and 2 overall on the week. And a hell of a week for Tua, man. I'm glad he could come back and silence all the bullshit and, negative ADOT and all the trash that people talk about him. He played extremely fucking well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Mike, to that point, right? I think that your boy Tyreek, man, coming in and out like with the cramps, but man, he really, to your point, elevates this team to I think it's totally unlocked too, and I think it's unlocked the offense, honestly, with him and Waddle out there. Waddle gets to be the number 2, or whatever you cut it. One of them is going to have coverage that's not enough, and Tua is throwing to a wide open receiver.
Correct. The great thing, I said it earlier in the day, but the great thing about Jalen Waddle with Tyreek being there is now Jalen Waddle isn't this negative ADOT behind the line of scrimmage, short, slant routes only, bubble screen player. He's running routes down the fucking field. And he's running those intermediate routes, and when he gets a fucking crease, but just behind the linebackers and splits the safeties, it is a thing of beauty. What's going on, Barry? Glad you could join in, buddy. It is incredible. Barry, it is incredible to watch this offense. So one negative I will say about this game is, what the fuck are you going to do with the running game? The Chase Edmonds, 5 carries. I thought he was supposed to be the dude. 5 carries, Adam.
I would say too, Mike. I guess it was a run game I wasn't really interested in. Had a lot of shares of. I do think though there will be better days ahead. I don't think this is going to be the worst. Just they were down a bunch to Baltimore. For them to come back and win this game was crazy. There were so many comeback victories today. But I don't think though, to your point, I don't think you're going to get a guy that realistically week in and week out has mid RB2 or RB1 upside at all in this offense.
Yeah. All right. So on the Ravens side, real quick there, Adam, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, they are what we thought they were. The 1 and 2 option, 18 targets combined between the two, 7 for Shadi, 11 for Mark Andrews. The entire passing game is going to go through these dudes. All right. The Dever Duvernay thing was fun. I know he got hurt a little bit, but still, Isaiah likely made an appearance, but whatever. Bateman, Andrews, those are your guys. Their running game is atrocious outside of Lamar. So please come back soon, JK. Please be healthy. But Shadi B, man, 21.5 miles per hour on that catch and run. The boy has some wheels.
Yeah, man. If you didn't think he had wheels, I mean, that's a slant that he just takes to the house.
Oh, my God. He's gone. Gone. Just dust him. Great to see from those guys. Next game that we want to talk about, Adam, we got to fly through these, man. We got a hell of a Sunday night football game. See if Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears that we got to get the people to.
Yeah,
but
man. Hey, Cody, real quick says sell Lance for a single 23 first. Are you doing that, Mike?
Any random one? No. 100% no. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Early, top 6 picks, I think I'm having a discussion, but
yes.
Right now, I would say not top 6. I'd rather have Lance.
Fuck no. Those late ones. No, we just did a mock draft with Barry, and I'm picking at the 12 spot, and I'm going ugh. Oh, we just dunked on Michael Mayer. We just dunked on, Quentin Johnston. We're dunking on all these dudes. I'm looking at it going, oh, picking at 12 sucks. A couple weeks ago, it felt really good, and this last one, it just felt gross as shit to me. So, no. These late ones, I'm good, man.
I think that to answer the question, too, if I'm selling him, it's probably on a contender, and I don't want capital. Unless you plan to 4D it and move the pick. I don't want to sell him for a pick. I'd want to sell him for a guy that can be in my lineup on a contender. What was the next game you wanted to talk about, though, Mike?
We'll find one here. Let's look at Rams Falcons. Like, man, that wasn't supposed to be as close it was supposed ended up being. But hey, your boy Cam Akers, not dead, actually out carried Daryl Henderson by five,
Yeah,
10 to
man.
15.
People are ready to write my man off, dude. I don't understand. It was bad week one, man. Like, you can't lie about that, right? Like, week one was
Yep,
really bad. But yeah, I didn't see how you could really write him off. I didn't think that would made a lot of sense.
17 touches for Cam Akers this week, right?
Yeah, yeah,
After what we saw last week.
yep.
Yeah, maybe pump the fucking brakes a little bit, people. Good players are still good. Um, fuck, Kyle Pitts, another week, MIA on a milk carton, gone. The biggest takeaway I got from this one is Cam Akers is not dead. Neither is Allen Robinson, for that matter of fact. But Kyle Pitts, kind of what we talked about last week. Like, I'm not going to panic on him because I wasn't ever really planning for it for this year. If you were having him on a contender thinking he was going to be the tight end one, that was probably a pipe dream. For whatever reason, Marcus Mariota just doesn't want to throw him the football. Doesn't.
Yeah,
He throw the
nah.
football to Drake London. So, holy shit. Drake London, baby. He looks really good. Wide receiver one in this class. No matter what your boy Garrett Wilson did.
Yeah, I mean, let's not try to act like he didn't do anything, because my man was killing it today. And unfortunately, if I have to watch him destroy it, at least let it be versus my Browns. Like, if I have to watch the kid, let's at least have it be Garrett Wilson. I would say this though, Mike. Yeah, man, Drake London. Two things here that are interesting. This is now 2 weeks in a row where Drake London is getting significantly more volume than Kyle Pitts. Do you think that's something that we should be looking to expect moving forward? And, like, are you starting to get really concerned about the Kyle Pitts stuff at this point, or is it something that you're not really putting too much thought into?
I'm concerned for this year for Kyle Pitts. Not, I am. If I have him on a contender, it's like, man, I'm probably not getting a lot out of him. Like, I think he'll have weeks. It's just not going to be consistent enough with Drake London there. Let's face it, man. Marcus Mariota's not a good quarterback. He's not. No matter how much we loved him at Oregon, and we loved the talent and the mobility and all that, he's just not good. The guy got fucking replaced by Ryan Tannehill, who people shit on all the time.
Right.
And Tannehill made that offense look good. So this year with Marcus Mariota, maybe not the greatest. You're really playing the long-term aspect with Kyle Pitts, though. Like, you're looking at what 2023 is going to be with another quarterback, somebody who's actually good and can maybe support more than just one wide receiver, one receiving weapon in the passing game, because Marcus Mariota can't. He can't. It isn't like there's a second option or another tight end that's getting work. It's Drake London, and the next leading target getter on the team was Kadarius Hodge, for fuck's sake, with 3. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So, woof, buddy.
Yeah, man. It's oof. I'm not out on Pitts long term, but because I think truly we're going to see a different quarterback. Like, right now, you're seeing that Mariota prefers to throw to London. I'm not out on Pitts long term, but I think on contenders, man, you're going to see some boom weeks. But I think right now it's going to be more of the rare thing for him to have the boom week, and more of this, like, they're shadowing him, they're putting a bunch of coverage on him, and gosh, man, I started him on a contender 2 weeks in a row, and he's. He might be the thing that cost me this week. So it'll be interesting to see with him long term. Anything else from that game, Mike, you wanted to talk about? Real quick, Cody says if we're not selling him for a first, where's the cutoff? Kirk, A-Rod, Mac. So I would send him away for Kirk. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd do it for Mac Jones. Where are you at with the other two on this list?
I think I'd do it for Mac Jones.
Okay.
I think I would.
Okay.
I think I would. Mac's done some things that I really like so far. I mean, fuck, we could touch on that game real quick too, but he's done some things I like so far this year. And I don't know, maybe it's just my Mac Jones love, but also I'm looking at long-term dynasty value. He's not going to be too far off from Trey Lance for the most part, even heading into next year. Like, there's going to be some questions about Trey Lance. All the bullshit's going to start up again. Startup value, depending on where Mac is and what they do with receiving weapons for him, they're going to be closer. Like, Mac's played well. He's played efficient. He's made Nelson Aguilar a thing again. Congratulations. And Jesus, fucking Raiders gonna Raider, but he's made Nelson Aguilar a thing again, and Jacoby Myers looks really good as his number one target. So I think Mac's still in that tier for me where I do it straight up on a contender,
Okay.
like just to fill my QB2 spot and keep the train moving. But we get down to like Zach Wilson, no. Pickett, no. Tom Brady, maybe. That feels gross as shit.
You would have, if I was going to do that, you'd have to be so ready to win, and
Yes.
that trade has to be made so you can win this year. Like that's the only way I'd make it.
No doubt. That's the only thing holding you back. Like the rest of the team is ready to go, and you could probably win without Trey Lance, but you just want to shore it up a little bit on your Superflex spot. So
yeah, Mike. Also,
that's the cutoff.
In that game, I wanted to talk about a couple things. One, Najee Harris. Like let's talk about Najee Harris because. Like, I don't think he looks bad, but I'm not worried overall as far as like him, but like should we take it down on the contending side a little bit, his value, just because this offense looks pretty rough?
This offense is fucking disgusting with Mitch Trubisky in there.
Right.
He is god
Terrible,
awful.
man. Terrible, man.
God awful, horrible. Yeah, I made the comparison that he makes Daniel Jones look good, and sometimes that's actually true, and other times they both are just equally shitty. So
Agreed.
I think our production aspect of what we thought we were getting out of Najee Harris this year, we do need to take it down. And it's kind of speaking towards Ben Roethlisberger. Yes, he didn't have the arm talent, and he was washed, and there was a lot of things, but he did a lot of things where, like the little nuances of the game, being a vet for that long and being a winner for that long, that he can do that Mitch has no ability to do whatsoever.
Right.
Mitch
Agreed.
has no ability to get him in the right play or see the mismatch or do anything like that. He's just out there running by the seat of his pants and usually fucking it up. So Najee Harris, especially Deontay, he's still getting force-fed targets like crazy.
That's what I was going to get to is him. Like with Deontay, Mike, where is it needle down at all just because the same thing? But I think that Deontay's you saw him peppered with targets today. Volume's not going to be an issue for him ever.
I have no concerns about Deontay whatsoever, just because the volume's never going anywhere. He's so damn good. He commands that volume. His targets are earned. Najee, on the other hand, I mean, he has so many things at the running back position. You are kind of a slave to the rest of the offense, like how it looks, right? If the offense is always sputtering and can't keep drives going and, not efficient, you're not going to get scoring opportunities in the red zone to score touchdowns, which brings him down. And then also he's just not on the field that much. And if the offense isn't productive, more than likely the team as a whole is trailing. So now we're into passing situations, which again leads more to a guy like Deontay, which is why I don't worry if they're going to be this bad. We need Kenny Pickett sooner rather than later.
Yeah, man.
That's my big takeaway from that game. I need Kenny Pickett soon. There's no way Kenny Pickett can be any worse, right? And why not let him go through the growing pains of this if this is what it's going to be?
Yeah, I'm with you there too, and I hope Tomlin, he's very old school. He likes to keep things, a vet. He's got experience. Keep Pickett on the bench, but I hope he gets away from that because Trubisky's just horrible for this offense. For every person that's a Steeler in fantasy, like the more Trubisky plays, in my opinion, the worse it is for all those shares. So let's get to Pickett. Maybe you put Pickett in too soon, and he's not. He's going to make some rookie mistakes. He's not going to be perfect, but I think people don't think he has upside. I think he has far more upside than Trubisky does in this fucking offense, man. Bad.
Yeah, for sure. You want to touch on your Browns real quick?
Oh, I guess we have to do it, man.
Let's start from a fantasy perspective.
Let's start with the positive, right? So
Nick Chubb is
really good at football. I mean, this guy's really good, man. I get to watch him every week, and gosh, man, he's so damn good.
I owe Nick Chubb an apology, Adam. I don't remember a couple months ago we were talking about Nick Chubb and maybe always better NFL running back than a fantasy running back, and I had my trepidations. I'm probably fading Nick Chubb this year because Jacoby Brissett for most of the year, but 2023 I'll be all in on Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was like, "You should have been all in on me from the fucking get-go, boy." I ain't never left.
Yeah,
He
man.
has been phenomenal these first 2 weeks.
He really has.
Phenomenal.
He really has.
So I'm sorry, Nick Chubb. I'm
The
sorry
other
I
thing too was
disrespected you.
today you saw more red zone touches for him, which I really like to see for him in fantasy. And he delivered too. Like I think that hopefully they continue with that trend for him in fantasy. Another one, Mike, that was on this team that I think we need to talk about is there was life out of Amari Cooper. And
The deuce.
yeah, man,
He's
it
back.
was week one was scary. I did not want to touch him in lineups this week unless I was forced to, and he delivered this week, man.
He was good.
It's amazing to say that Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper both did well, Mike, and that this team found a way to lose that football game. Gosh, it's so bad. And let's go ahead and admit, at least it was the Ohio State guy I've been touting for a while that absolutely fucking cooked us, Mike. I mean, Garrett Wilson cooked us today.
He cooked you.
At what point is it like, we know he's a rookie, but like Joe Woods, when do you change the game plan up and say, like, maybe we should put more coverage on 17? He destroyed us.
Well, I thought, at least from what I got to see out of it, Adam, that Ward was on Elijah for most of the game.
He was.
And, Denzel Ward does Denzel Ward things. Like, there's a reason he got paid a shit ton of money. He's pretty good at football, too. So it was a rough game for our guy, Elijah Moore. Still got 5 targets, got 41 yards. But for the most part, Garrett Wilson was just beating the shit out of whoever the fuck the second corner was that they had on him. Didn't matter. He was cooking them. I get it, man. For being a Browns fan, at some point you got to be like, Garrett Wilson's cooking us. Maybe we put Ward on and then see if Elijah can get hot. Like, we'll put Ward on Wilson and we'll put this other guy on Elijah Moore and just see if we can switch it up a little bit. But nah, they're like, fuck it. We're going down with the ship, baby. Garrett Wilson's going to burn us.
And the final score is Garrett Wilson as well. Ross McMillan says, I'm up 29 and guy I'm playing has A-Rod tonight. Should I be worried about A-Rod dropping a 30 burger?
If this wasn't like a bounce back week for him and he's playing the Bears, who he naturally owns and just seems to get up for, I generally wouldn't be worried about it. But you factor in those two things, he might go for 40 tonight.
Yeah.
I would be worried. I would be worried. Like, if it was he's playing the Lions and he played well last week, I'd be like, okay, you just ho-hum, they'll beat the Lions, go on about his life. He might have a vendetta out. It's Aaron Rodgers. You never know. Might go for 5 touchdowns tonight. Who knows?
I'm with you there.
Sorry, Ross. I'm so sorry,
I wouldn't be overly worried, but that it's absolutely in the range of outcomes. Like, you need to closely watch us. Mike, let me talk about this guy here, because like, he's really good. But Mike, are we worried about this offense at all?
Jesus,
Houston
offense
at home
looks so bad, man. It looks so goddamn bad. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to watch the Denver Broncos. It is. I didn't think we were worried about them all heading into it. And Javonte, in regards to Javonte, he still looked good, right? 15 carries, 75 yards. Did catch a pass for 10. So, 16 touches. Got targeted more than Melvin Gordon. On the field, more than Melvin Gordon. More carries than Melvin Gordon. But Russ, man, 14 to 31. 14 to 31. Judy went down. I mean, Sutton got fed. So if you had Sutton in fantasy, you were loving that.
Sutton looked great, yes.
He looked good. But Hackett is having a rough go. What'd you say the pun last week? Hackett can't hack it? Something along that line.
Dude, I mean, you're at home versus Houston. Like, you know what? I was kind of like, all right, man. Week 1, Seattle, he clamps up with the game on the line, and it's loud, and you had a bad week. It's a new quarterback with a lot of new weapons. Like, I get it. I give you a pass.
Yeah.
Home versus Houston, man? When does the progression take place? Because I think it eventually will, but man, like you said, the injury happened, and then you kind of had to force the ball to Sutton a lot. Sutton played great. I think Sutton looks good. But man, outside of Sutton and Javonte, I don't feel great about anybody in this offense right now.
They are struggling with gimmies early in the season, right? They get the Seahawks last week, which should have been a gimme, and they had the Texans, which definitely should be a gimme. Now, they got 1 win out of the 2, But their next schedule, right? They get Sunday Night Football next week against 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. They play on the road at the Raiders, home versus the Colts, and then at the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Like, you better pick your shit up. You better pick your shit up because the schedule is not easy anymore. So,
yeah,
Adam, we could be looking at a scenario. We're still having this conversation. Like, should we be panicked about these guys about week 4? I didn't think that was going to be the case. Javonte, I think, is still fine, though. It's the rest of the offense. Like, I like Javonte. He's doing well. It obviously should be better. He should have more scoring opportunities, more times to punch in touchdowns because the offense should be better, and it's not. But
right.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I think this comes down to Russ not being comfortable yet, and obviously Hackett not being comfortable being a head coach and a play caller at the same time. I don't know if he needs to split up some of his duties and delegate a little bit more, but he does look overwhelmed. We're talking delay a game penalties. Still the same shit I was talking about last week when we did the AMA, right? Where the play clock's going down to 1 second every damn time. Like, come on, let's go move the shit along.
Yeah, man.
Let's go, buddy.
I'm with you. I think sometimes, a lot of times, the coaches that go from, coordinator to now head coach and still doing the play calling, a lot of times it's a lot to put on your plate. Mike, one question here. Dynasty Alex says, I'm up 14 with AJB still going, and my opponent's rolling out Aaron Jones. Is this a lock? I would say you can't ever say it's a lock in fantasy, but, man, you got to feel really damn good.
I like it. A shootout game with the Vikings and the Eagles on Monday night. Feel good about AJB that night. Aaron Jones. He can go off for monster games at any point, but having that A.J. Brown and a 14-point lead make me feel pretty good about this one.
Yeah. Mike, I think we need to talk about real quick, too, another guy that's just really fucking good at football. Really fucking good at football. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I thought he was dead when DJ Shark signed. I was told this.
Well, and Jameson got drafted. Come on, Mike.
That's true, man.
They got T.J. Hawkinson, too. I mean, how's this guy going to sneak in? The Sun God. Bro, dude, he is putting, like, I'll say this. I was very in on I've always liked the kid. I've always been in on the talent and stuff. I was a slight downgrade in my mind, it was more ceiling. Like the back half of last year, I wasn't sure that was going to be something that's consistent with all the weapons. I wasn't fading him, but he was like a slight downgrade because of all the people coming over. Mike, he's put his stamp on the start of this year. Like, y'all thought I was going to lose anything? Dude, this guy is alpha right now. Alpha.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I saw something on Twitter. I can't remember who put it on there, but a stat that said in Amon-Ra's last 8 games, he's averaging 26 point some PPR points per game. Justin Jefferson's best 8-game stretch is 22 points per game. It's like, oh, how about that? Is he the new wide receiver one in Dynasty?
I mean,
I'm not going to go that far, but damn, is he good at football.
But he's needles way up. Dynasty Alex, you know what here, man? Let's talk about it. I'll say this. They didn't even use DeAndre Swift in a full, like, had he practiced, had he been healthier, he gets a lot more touches.
Yeah, he only has 7 touches.
And he still balled on 7 touches, Mike. Those 7 touches, damn, did he fucking make them worth it.
It could have been so much better, too. You remember that Goff had that pass where he just missed him on the wheel route by inches.
The worst.
He did it with a couple people, but Swift one was like, oh, there it is. Could have been another one.
So
he's good.
JT had, a pretty bad week. And Mike, I think at this point, like, I don't want to get to overreaction because it's still in 2 weeks, but yes. I'm getting worried about that offense and that team. I know Pittman's out. Wow.
Matt Ryan.
Bad, man.
They need a second weapon in the worst way in the passing game. And so I'll switch over and do some quick takeaways for that game real quick. I feel bad for Jonathan Taylor. I do kind of feel bad for Matt Ryan, though. He brought some of it on himself. He's been playing like shit these first couple weeks. Nyheim Hines. This is why I don't like you, Nyheim Hines. This is why I cannot roster you in a lineup league whatsoever. The weeks you're supposed to smash, you don't do shit. in the weeks that you're just chilling on my bench when nobody thinks anything's happening, you blow up. So
Yeah,
he did shit. Paris Campbell, it's over. It's over
dude,
for that.
it's
Just
dead.
drop him. It's done.
Oh,
Drop him in all formats.
oh
It's
for
over.
no catches on 2 targets. Mike, I actually started him in a league. I mean, wow, done.
Wolf. Done. Out targeted by Desmond Patton. Adam, you know where Desmond Patton went to school?
No,
Neither do I.
I don't.
Washington State, apparently.
Okay.
He's 24. I had no idea. I was like, who the hell's Desmond Patton?
Yeah,
We found him.
I'm concerned about the Colts. I still think Taylor typically is going to get his, but I would say, Mike, here's the thing though. Like, I think if Swift was going to be in the conversation, today wouldn't happen because the health is still the issue for me, right?
Yes.
He probably absolutely destroys it today if he's healthy. But we're in week 2 and we're already dealing with him not playing the full workload because he's hurt. So I think the talent's incredible. I think if you could guarantee he's healthy for the entire season and playing the snaps he should play, we're having a conversation. But I can't guarantee that. So that's where I think the baked-in Jonathan Taylor RB1 comes in. But I like the question and I like the Swift love, Dynasty Alex.
Another good week from James Robinson. Another week from Travis Etienne.
Yeah, man. Mike, what do you think, man? Like, honestly, with ETN, like, I'm curious where your head's at with this one here.
Well, 53 yards on 12 touches. Not great, not horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at J-Rob, just they're feeding him the football, man. 23 carries for James Robinson, a guy coming off of an Achilles. We were worried about would he even play, and look at him. They don't care. Now, not the most efficient, but Colts, good defense, good run defense. So, it is what it is. But you think ETN would get more heavily involved, especially when you're looking at, man, Christian Kirk is eating 6 for 6, right? 6 targets, 6 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. What a fucking value on Christian Kirk. What an absolute value on him. Evan Ingram. We have an Evan Ingram sighting. 8 targets, 7 catches. He's still alive, Adam. He's still a thing.
Is. Man, Ingram might have a mediocre season this year, I think is the best way to describe it. Like, he could be in the mix at tight end for people.
I like having him on my best ball teams.
Oh, absolutely. In best ball, he's worth the roster. If you had him, you are loving it. I would say this too, man. Christian Kirk, it's funny, man. Like, he was there was people that were so in the Christian Kirk camp, right? And then he just constantly disappointed in Arizona until last year. Now he goes to Jacksonville and he's with Lawrence, and it's like, I don't know if it's him maturing, like getting better. Like, he looks good in the alpha role, man. Like, I'm excited as hell for Christian Kirk right now.
I'm with you, man. I am with you. Christian Kirk's going to be probably one of the best values in any startup draft that you take. I mean, we were getting him in round 13, 14 sometimes.
Yeah,
he started to creep up towards the end a little bit. Maybe he got to like round 9, round 10 at the best, but still, people are still sleeping on him. Like, his acquisition cost wasn't shit. I like it, Alex. Gibby's been my favorite player, but Swift needs to give me one more week of 17 points, and he'll be king.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? Let's quickly talk about your guy, Antonio Gibson, man. Thoughts on today? Yeah,
he had a shitty week. I ain't no cap on this one. He had a shitty week. If he didn't get that touchdown, it would have been even shittier. Man, big takeaways. Terry got the targets, just not the catches. I think that'll come. Holy shit! Another week of Curtis Samuel, right? Another week of Curtis Samuel. Is he must start while he's healthy?
I was making a hologram for him. I didn't get it done in time. Mike, I think it depends on your team, but right now, man, like if you're starting, 9 to 10 guys, he may not be an auto start for you if you have a really strong contender. But Mike, I have a hard time not starting him in the deeper lineups. Like, if the target volume is there and he stays healthy, I think the big thing with him is if he's out there and healthy and he's seeing those target volume, like we saw him be good. It's just been so long, people forget, and man, he looks really freaking good. Like, I cannot I cannot lie about that at all.
There's another week where Carson Wentz had some moments where you're like, ew, and then you look at the end and you're like, fuck, Carson Wentz actually played pretty damn well. Like he had one interception. I'm not gonna put too much on him. It was a high throw, but it literally hit the dude in the face mask and then ricocheted off. So
Yeah.
not all Carson's fault. He did take some bad sacks. That offensive line has some work to do, as you can tell by Gibson, and really nobody on that team was able to run the football outside of like one Curtis Samuel long run. Everybody else was struggling. The Lions defense showed up, played. Holy shit! Welcome to the league, Aiden Hutchinson. 3 sacks, your second game. Pretty awesome for him. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you any cap on Gibson. He fell into the end zone towards the end and kind of salvaged what was an abysmal day. Jahan Dotson, another touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, not killing it in targets, but you going to get 5-6 targets every single week like this, Adam, and haul in 4 or 5 of them and possibly a touchdown? He's getting into flex starter territory, like almost you have to. So
yeah. I think right now, Terry is a start for me still.
Yes.
I wouldn't panic yet on Terry at all. I think Curtis Samuel is the wide receiver 2 volume wise, and Mike, I have no problem. It's crazy because we were talking about Carson Wentz, Mike. We had to do this all offseason. He can't support 2. Right now, we're looking at potentially him supporting 3 receivers in that offense. So, very interesting. Mike, last team I want to talk about, we could talk more, but we want to get to this Sunday night game. So, Mike, how level of concern right now on Alvin Kamara, the Saints as a whole?
Jameis Winston looks horrible. Absolutely atrocious. It was nice to see Chris Olave got targeted a shit ton, and Michael Thomas is still being Michael Thomas, which is cool. But I think you kind of see where Jameis Winston is pretty damn limited. You know, the offensive line gave up a ton of sacks. I think he took 6 or 7 sacks, threw picks, 3 of them. No Alvin Kamara with the rib injury. He's probably going to miss a couple weeks total.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate he's going to play next week and maybe the week after that for all I know. I'm not a doctor. This is where Jeff Mueller, Destination Devy, will come in very handy, where he can kind of give me the outlook on it. But that team without Alvin Kamara, their offense looks atrocious. Now, granted, Tampa Bay is not a horrible defense, and everybody gets up for that game, right? They hate each other, as we could see by Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore getting into it and getting tossed from the game. They do not like each other. But Alvin Kamara makes life easier for Jameis Winston. If you got the pass catchers, the main ones, Thomas, Chris Olave, like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, where are you at with Michael Thomas? I mean, another touchdown, 6 catches, 65 yards.
9 targets, too. Like, I think MT's – I'm not going to say he's back to what we remember, but he's at least 80% back, and 80% of Michael Thomas from 2019 is pretty fucking good. So
I think the thing that's holding him from being back too is we forget that Drew Brees was actually pretty damn good at football. It feels like the last time he was thrown to him, you know, like we're dealing with Jameis now, right? So it's a little different there too.
He's very erratic. Sometimes he plays well, sometimes he plays horrible. It's good to see though that they're not just pounding the piss out of Taysom Hill and using him in stupid ways that just frustrate fantasy managers. They're actually running some normal offense for the most part. It's all going to depend. And I don't know how much of this on Jameis too is the 4 fractures in his back.
Yeah, the back
that Gene starts to show. So,
right.
Well, Michael Thomas, the big takeaway from the game is Michael Thomas still Michael Thomas. I was pleasantly surprised to see how much Chris Olave got involved in, targeted, and the running game is pretty much atrocious without Alvin Kamara back there. So please heal up.
I would never start anybody else that's not Alvin Kamara right now in that backfield.
Maybe Mark Ingram, but he looks so damn slow. So damn slow.
Yeah.
He was banged up heading into it too. I mean, like their best running back at the time was Dwayne Washington for some of that game when he got carries. That's not a good feeling to have.
Yeah, it's not, man. So Saints as a whole, I think arrows down without Alvin Kamara. Hopefully he's able to return and be Alvin Kamara, and it's not going to set him back when he's playing. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, both I think did well. I'd be even worried about starting Jameis Winston until we see him look healthy or something, man. Scared of the Saints right now.
Definitely in the bottom tier of quarterbacks that you don't feel good about, right? Like,
No,
let's be frank, Jared Goff's outplaying him right now by a long stretch.
Jared Goff looks good 2 weeks in, man.
But you're looking at like Winston is going to be in that with like Matt Ryan and Baker and Daniel Jones and Ryan Tannehill until we actually see him rebound too. Like you don't feel good about starting him. Like you feel better than starting Cooper Rush. You feel better about starting Marcus Mariota or Jacoby Brissett, but it's still just yikes. That's the yikes tier.
Yeah, man. A lot of big takeaways. A lot of good action this week, man. It's fun watching football, like having it back and having it full force. Let us know what you think about the recap. If there was other people you wanted to hear about, questions. We appreciate everybody tapping in. I would say, man, this game tonight, I'm excited to see. 10 points feels like a lot, and two games on Monday is always a joy.
It's gonna be a blast. Make sure you tap in Tuesday night for our AMA. 8:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. I always fuck the time up. I'm bad at it. Don't worry, I'll post it. It'll be on the YouTube channel, but make sure you check that out because we'll probably have some more information about what we're going to do, especially with the Trey Lance. And, maybe I get a deal or two. I know, Adam, we're going to be sending out some offers on some of your contenders. Like, we got some hard looks to take on some of our teams here in these next few days. So we should have more about what we're going to do with that. We'll also have, like Adam said, we got 3 more games that we didn't get to recap now. We get the Sunday night game and 2 Monday night games. We get fucking spoiled. I love having 2 games on Monday night, so we get to watch those 2. And then, as always, you got your trade questions there. Pop in Tuesday night AMA. It's going to be a good time. We appreciate you guys tapping in. That's going to do it for us. Everybody go watch Aaron Rodgers and the Bears. It should be fun. And let's go Justin Fields. I got faith in you, buddy.
Fields Mooney connection is going to be strong tonight. Just watch. All right, guys.
We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.